Thanks so much for being with us here on ANF Plus. Obviously, a lot of storm cleanup this afternoon, and all around Georgia, especially in Paulding County. A lot of damage that we've seen around the state, but Paulding County really most noteworthy, and a lot of homes and businesses left destroyed by the overnight storms that came through Georgia. And this is just some of the damage, again, that we're seeing in the Paulding County area. But I want to show you this what happened to this gas station in particular. I apologize. I pulled up the wrong video there. But look at this gas station. The awning there at Highway 61, this is at Aiken Road, the strong winds causing that damage. As you can see, the awning just ripped out of the ground and landed right on top of the convenience store there. The sheriff and other public safety officials asking people in this general vicinity stay home, let crews work to clear trees, power lines, and other debris from the roadways as well.
There are trees down. There's trees down on 61. There are roads blocked, probably within a 2-mile radius. There are a lot of trees down, power lines down, and damage.
And, apart from that gas station, I mean, just significant storm damage all around that area. One neighborhood in Dallas is what you're looking at. Dallas, Georgia, damage very extensive there. Broken branches, debris scattered everywhere. The storms, as you can see, toppled trees and power lines, making several areas impassable for any cars to come through. The Paulding County Sheriff's Office actually believes that a tornado touched down late last night, and they're really just pleading with people to avoid the sightseeing in that area, give crews their space to continue to do their work.
Let us get these roads clear, let us get these power lines out of the way, because we don't want any kind of accidents to happen. So these folks are going to be out working very diligently. For those of you that are out of power, Greystone is aware. They're working very diligently to restore power to our residents.
And, look at this Kroger in Dallas at Jimmy Campbell Parkway and Villa Rica Highway. This obviously, is a small community in Dallas, and that is one of the main grocery stores in that area. So really big impact in that community. The Paulding County Sheriff's Office confirming at least 14 homes were impacted by trees during the storms. Some 12,000 people were left without power, or customers, I should say. So that would be entire homes or businesses left without power as of this morning. But those numbers keep on changing. It has dropped to some extent, but obviously the efforts are still ongoing. Let's take a look at what happened over in Alabama as well. So this is a daycare just in Alabama damaged by the storms. This video from our sister station in Birmingham, and you can see the ceiling is now on the floor inside the classroom there, really giving you a look at the extent of the damage. And let's look at this. This is really interesting. What you're seeing is the National Weather Service employees in Metro Atlanta at the agency's Birmingham office. They were forced to abandon operations, take shelter for themselves. And as you saw in that tweet, just a few minutes later, the team tweeted that they were back. The powerful storm hit the central part of Alabama, knocked down trees and power lines. Unclear if that damage is caused by a tornado, but that is something, that is under investigation as well. And then let's look at some of the damage in Arkansas, because so much widespread damage in our region. So here in Northeast Arkansas, a lot of cleanup underway. As you can see, overturned vehicles, yard debris, damaged campers, homes, businesses. This is near the Arkansas-Tennessee border. An outbreak of tornadoes there caused people really to panic.
I had my daughter in the house with me, and I had to put her in the closet and just make sure everybody in the house was safe. That was my main goal.
Yeah, according to the Associated Press, 3 people died as a result of the storms. 9 others were injured across 8 counties there in Arkansas. A lot of people really grateful for the shelters, the severe weather shelters that were opened up in several counties to give people safe places to go. And DeKalb County Frontline Response drove around, found people who are homeless, offered to give them a ride to the shelter, and probably save lives.
It was very helpful as far as just they care about people and they try to help people. And by me being homeless, 'cause I had never been homeless before, that I really appreciated that.
And, you know, still the efforts are underway for cleanup, as we've been mentioning. And you're just advised to just give crews their room to work. Frontline Response, the gentleman you just heard from, was helped by Frontline Response, and they're a nonprofit that helps people who are not only homeless, but they also do rescues for people that are victims of sex trafficking as well. But, you know, we're continuing to cover the latest on this storm. We're showing you the damage across Georgia. But just a reminder for everyone, because there are down trees, there are down power lines, the efforts are still underway, you know, to repair the damage, to get power back on. Georgia Power just wants to remind everyone, stay away from any down power lines. Don't ever drive over a down power line or a low hanging line or anything like that, under a low hanging line. Make sure to keep ladders, antennas, kites, poles away from those sorts of lines for your own safety. Okay, in other news that we're following, it is a very somber anniversary today. It marks 4 years since the deadly spa shootings. And, you know, during this horrible massacre, 8 people were shot and killed at 3 different massage businesses. The victims, their families, their lives changed forever. A 22-year-old man shot and killed 4 people, seriously injuring a 5th at a Cherokee County massage business. And then investigators say he drove south to Atlanta, killed 3 more women at another business before then crossing the street to kill an 8th person. Well, there was a town hall today to commemorate the lives lost in this horrible tragedy. It was at the Norcross Community Center from 3 to 5 o'clock, just still ongoing but wrapping up. And there were celebrations, performances, including from several young people. And, you know, this past Thursday, state lawmakers and members of the Asian American and Pacific Islander community gathered at the state capitol as well. And they look back on the outrage, the fear in the Asian American community that the killings really caused, which can sometimes, of course, by many accounts, can still be felt today. But the shooter was convicted in Cherokee County, but was in court last week in Fulton County. If he is convicted in Fulton County, he could get the death penalty possibly. No trial date has been set for that part of the case, but of course we're going to keep following the latest there. Okay, let's transition to a different story that we're following for the moment right now. I apologize, just having a little bit of a video issue here. But let's talk about pesticides for a moment and health, and you know how it could impact your health. Well, some people are calling on Governor Brian Kemp to veto a bill that they say protects billion-dollar companies instead of hardworking Georgians. Atlanta News First reporter Abby Kasouras tells us the bill concerns the health risks of pesticides and also fertilizers.
A bill shielding pesticide and fertilizer companies from lawsuits beyond federal EPA limits is on the governor's desk for his signature. Health groups want him to veto it, and here's why. They say it's all about this product, Roundup. Roundup is used by the majority of farmers. The manufacturer, Bayer, is facing more than 60,000 claims Roundup causes cancer. They've paid billions to settle lawsuits so far.
At some point, we may recognize that some of the things we're using aren't safe.
Attorney Nicole Johnson testified against the bill, saying it's like giving tobacco companies a pass, saying more research should be done before removing liability.
Even with the lawsuits, look how long it took to recognize the connection between smoking and lung cancer.
In 2020, the EPA published an interim decision saying they found no risk of concern to human health when glyphosate is used in accordance with its current label, while additional studies in the National Library of Medicine found glyphosate can be toxic.
I don't come up here often to have to defend bills, but I'm mad as I can be right now.
Farmer and State Representative Robert Dickey fearful lawsuits may force Bayer to pull the product, saying crop yields would suffer.
And then they see an opportunity to go after agriculture, go after our food supply. And I'm not going to stand here and let it happen.
Democrat Stacey Evans voicing her frustration.
Usually we have at least 24 hours notice before we're going to consider a bill. Not always, but that was a little weird. And we know this is being pushed by Bayer that recently bought Monsanto, and it is about Roundup.
Evans not surprised with the vote, calling it frustrating, saying ultimately it's consumers that will suffer.
This is being pushed by big business, period. And we just let it sail right through.
Georgia, one of 21 states where similar legislation has been introduced. In Atlanta, I'm Abby Kasouris.
And on a much lighter note, we know St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow. Atlanta News First reporter Don Shipman made a stop by the Atlanta Irish Dance Company studio for some dance lessons.
Amid the bagpipes, marching bands, and dazzling floats at Atlanta's St. Patrick's Parade, you'll find a fan favorite.
This weekend, you will see us everywhere.
Emma Burke and nearly 100 Irish dancers from the Atlanta Irish Dance Company are ready to dazzle the crowd in green.
The smiling faces of the kids, the kicking up of the legs. Irish dance is just something that everyone thoroughly can't help themselves but clap to.
For more than a decade, the Atlanta Irish Dance Crew, from 3-year-olds to adults, has been a parade favorite. 18-year-old Caitlin Garreau, dancing since she was 5, now competes worldwide.
Well, my mom did dancing when she was younger, and then my older sister did it, so she kind of inspired me to start dance.
Hinge our shoulders, lay back. We have a stiff upper carriage whenever we're dancing, very poised, but just like a duck paddling underwater, our feet are frantically moving.
At Burke's Morningside studio, lessons are intense, but not everyone's got the rhythm to keep up.
Hop to the ground. Good.
1 step forward, 2 steps back. Let's just say my feet weren't exactly in sync with the jig.
It's fast now, ready, off we go. Ground, me, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ground, me, 1, 2, 3, 4.
A swing and a miss.
I think when you brought the music in, I was done.
The music is fast.
And newfound respect for the art of Irish dance. In Atlanta, Don Shipman. Atlanta News First.
And more on that and all of our top stories on AtlantaNewsFirst.com and our free mobile news app.